Hi there, welcome to No Nonsense Whiskey. My name's Vin PF and on today's episode we've got another Glasgow 1770 bottling for you to see today. Now this one here is their brand new release. This is the Peated Cask Strength. Now when I saw this was coming out, I literally insta-bought it before I even tried it. And it's not very often I do that anymore. Usually I'm very much a try before you buy kind of guy, but if you've been watching my channel you'll know that I'm a big fan of Glasgow Distillery, Glasgow 1770 and all of that jazz. And although I don't enjoy every single bottling that comes out, if you've checked out my sample Saturdays recently, apparently I'm not a big fan of Tokai casks, the Hungarian thing. Not sure why. Everyone seems to really like that. People that I've even been with, I've been to the Glasgow Distillery, and people that I was there with really enjoyed it. So that's just a me thing rather than a kind of them thing, if that makes sense. Anyway, besides the point, big fan of Glasgow. So yeah, as soon as this came out, I basically bought it that same day. Cost me £64, I think it was, which is only a little bit more than their core range. Now the core range is, the original, the peated, and the triple distilled. They sell for £49 at 46%, and that's at a full size bottle now. Obviously that used to be a complaint back in the day when they were doing half size. People didn't really get that, but as a new distillery, they needed to find some way of making the liquid viable for them. Now they've done a really quite honourable thing, in my opinion, and that's raised it up to the 70 CL and also retained the price. But this is a new batch of new cask strengths. They've got the original and they've got the peated. Not sure why we haven't got triple distilled, but we might get that when we're ready. But today we've just got the peated cask strength. Now the big thing to note about this, the main reason why I bought it straight away was the original peated. That confuses things. The peated core range was my Whisky of the Year from 2021, back when I was doing Whiskies of the Year. So I can't really be bothered to do that anymore. It doesn't really help you guys, I don't think. But that was my Whisky of the Year. Absolutely astounding whiskey. For £49, it's an absolute bargain, and especially at full size. I thought it was a bargain at half litre, but now that you can get it for a full size bottle, I still think it's doubly a bargain. Bad maths. But yeah, long story long, we have the Peated Cask Strength today. Now, again, this follows the standard protocol of peated whiskey. This is matured in virgin casks and then finished in PX casks, which is interesting. We like that sort of thing. I actually had the pleasure of trying the PX that they tipped out of those casks when I went to the distillery, and really interesting. Actually quite stunning. I didn't think I liked PX sherry, but it was really nice. So that influence is is really prevalent in this. But yeah, at 60.8%, this is a little bit of a monster. £64. I think we should just get into the whiskey and see what we've got, shall we? It's non-chill filtered, natural coloured, just like all of their products are at the moment. Or at least I should say all of their main products are. I think they've got a blend as well that might be. But yeah, look at it. It's a beautiful kind of mahogany rich colour like that. Let's try on the nose then. Okay, I always say, quick caveat, if you're not into your peat, then you're probably not going to like it, right? This is a high strength peated whiskey. It's not your British whiskey, but if you're into peat like I am, stick around. Now, this has got a really interesting nose on it because, I drink a lot of cask strength whiskey. I like cask strength whiskey. I don't tend to water it down. But this doesn't smell like cask strength whiskey, if that makes any sense. Now, if you've stuck your nose into a Glencairn with cask strength whiskey in it, usually you'll get a bit of a waft, a bit of a punch in the face, I sometimes say. Not getting that with this, which is only a good thing. It smells nice and peated. I've got barbecue meats on the nose. This is like, when we're talking about peat levels, it's either kind of like medicinal or ashen. It's none of that. It's all freshly cooking barbecue vibes, over those coals, fat dropping down onto the coals and kicking up into this. That's what I'm getting off this. But also, if you're into your kind of back garden grilling, then you'll usually probably season your meat. So you get kind of like, I like a bit of sweet and a bit of Thai sauce and a bit of honey, that sort of thing. And that's what I'm getting on the back end of this. Some kind of like, burnt woodiness with some sweetness coming through. Really lovely. Let's try on the palate. It's big and bold and impactful. It's got a huge amount of kind of smokiness on the palate, which is lovely. ABV, you could probably get away with putting a bit of water in this. I don't tend to do that on these videos, but I think it would probably take it quite well. Bring forward some of that smokiness, but again, that sweetness off the nose is transferring onto the palate. And once the ABV hit has gone, and once the smokiness is kind of wafting around in the background, that kind of like sweet barbecued meats is coming through as well. It's basically everything I loved about the standard peated release, but ratcheted up on that ABV. So, you know, worst case scenario is that you would have to bring it down to a level that you enjoy. So obviously the standard one is 46, this is 60.8, and if there's probably a middle ground somewhere in there that it's going to be a real good sweet spot for you, and you could have a lot of fun finding that, if that makes sense. For me, I think it's just fine at cask strength. I'm really enjoying that. Superb whiskey. You can see I literally got this, like, I don't know, at time of recording, probably a week ago, and I've already been tapping into that quite neatly. So this is going to have to be hidden from me behind some Guard whiskey. TM, get a t-shirt below if you're into that. But yeah, I can't enthuse about these guys enough. I tend to buy quite a lot of their bottles these days because they're just making stunning stuff. And if you are capable of getting hold of some Glasgow 1770, I know they're not everywhere right now, but if you can get hold of it, then please do, is all I can say, because they are a fantastic distillery and really do deserve the support, especially considering the age of these guys. You know, age is a misnomer at the moment. I don't really care about age, but this must be sort of 4 or 5 years old, maybe a bit older, maybe some older stock in there, but it's around that ballpark because that's how long they've been around for. So yeah, really good stuff, really good stuff. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried this or thinking about getting it, or if you just want to talk about Glasgow 1770 in any way, shape or form. Chuck it in the comments below and we'll have a quick chat. But I'll see you again on more videos coming up soon. Cheers.